Homework. It's a word a lot of students dread to hear at the end of the class. But what if the homework becomes the main lesson and not just a practice activity? Will this work? Let's find out in today's video. Hi, I'm Aldrich, an educator just like you here with AhaSlides to help you and your students succeed together. Teaching is one of the oldest, if not the oldest profession on this planet. And thanks to the countless studies and the development of technology, this humble profession evolved over time to meet the demands of the world. However, despite these changes and progress, our struggle in keeping our students engaged and motivated still haunt our classes. So is there any God-sent solution to this problem? Of course! And it's not just one, but there's so many out there. And one of which is what we're going to talk about: flipped classroom. Flipped classroom is a teaching methodology pioneered by Aaron Sams and Jonathan Bergman, high school chemistry teachers from Colorado who used recorded lectures in their own classes in 2006. From this, they developed a teaching learning method where the traditional sage on the stage instruction was drastically reduced. So what is flipped classroom and why is it considered effective? To make it simple, it's a teaching method where students have more autonomy over their learning and the teachers serve as guide on the side. No more lengthy lectures by the teacher and lesser passive learning by the students. Now, how do we flip our classes? Let's break it down into 3 simple steps: present, practice, and produce. Let's start with present. Let's divide this step into 2 parts: before class and during class. In before class, the materials are provided to the students. These materials may include a video, a text, or presentation slides. With these resources at hand, students can then study the lesson independently, outside of class and in their own pace. In during class, the teacher presents the lesson objectives and success criteria. During this part, the teacher might also check students' prior knowledge about the topic. AhaSlides offers a variety of ways for teachers to do this, such as the word cloud feature and the poll feature. That way, both the teacher and the students can see their knowledge level prior to studying the lesson. Now, on to step 2, practice. During this stage, the main role of the teacher is to provide support, address misconceptions and concerns, and ultimately to check their understanding through an assessment tool like a quiz or a test. You can use the quiz feature on AhaSlides for this goal, or the Q&A feature so students can freely ask questions and answer questions. Students may also bring their notes to class and compare them with their classmates. Stronger, more advanced students can help their struggling classmates by acting as their tutor, and weaker students, on the other hand, can ask questions for clarification or ask for support from their peers or their teacher. Students can also exchange ideas through a group discussion to further encourage collaboration in learning. And finally, step 3, produce. For this final step, the main goal is for the students to produce an output that would encapsulate their learning. You may apply differentiation by allowing them to work individually, in pairs, or in groups. And they can decide the kind of output that they want to produce. It could be a video, a PowerPoint presentation, or maybe even a song. I say let loose and let them show their wacky and creative side. Who knows? They might surprise you. But how are we going to assess them? Of course, a rubric should be provided. One method that I've learned in my own classes is to let them make the rubric themselves. That way, they're more aware of how they're going to be marked because, well, they made it themselves. Be sure to provide them with clear learning outcomes and marking schemes, and they're good to go. So far, everything sounds good about doing flipped classroom, right? However, just like any other teaching strategy, it's not perfect. One of the main concerns the teachers have regarding this strategy is the availability of resources. It's a fact that not everyone, teachers or students alike, has access to all the necessary tools and materials to make this work. Another concern is that students who are not as motivated or as advanced as others might find learning more difficult or more tedious, thus causing them to fall further behind. If you think flipped classroom can work in your own class, then give it a try. If you want to flip your class but you have one or both of the major concerns listed, then I suggest planning it through and seek support from your school or even your students' parents if needed. You never know. Maybe doing flipped classroom can do wonders to your own students and the community as well. To recap, flipped classroom can be done in 3 steps: present, practice, and produce. Present is divided into 2 parts: before class and during class. Students receive the materials and study independently. They bring and ask questions during class. Practice is where students support each other and check their understanding of the lesson through a quiz or a test. Produce is where students create an output to show what and how much they've learned. They are assessed through a rubric. So, what do you think of flipped classroom? Share your thoughts in the comment section below and press like if you enjoyed and learned something from our video. Once again, this is Eldridge with AhaSlides, helping you and your students succeed together. See you next time.